Welcome to the Camac video guides. In this video, I'm going to give some advice about tuning your pedal harp. Harps need to be tuned pretty often. If you're new to tuning, it might take a long time at first because you'll need to individually adjust each string. But as you get more experience, you should become faster and more efficient. And hopefully the information in this video will help. The tuning of the harp all depends on the tension of the strings. When you add tension to a string by winding it up and making it tighter, it will sound at a higher pitch. When you take away tension by unwinding it and letting it loosen, it will sound lower. The trick is to give the string just enough tension so that it sounds exactly at the correct pitch. Then it's in tune. Before you begin tuning, put the pedals in the flat position. This releases the disc pins and allows the tension to distribute evenly across the full length of the string. If you turn the tuning peg when the string is pinched by the disc pins, it will mostly only affect the tension in the top part of the string, and so once the tension manages to leak through to the rest of the string, it'll be out of tune again, which can be super frustrating. This video will show you how to tune using an electronic chromatic tuner, which is a device that reads the pitch you're playing, compares it to the correct pitch, and indicates whether you're too sharp or too flat. Tuners are sold online or at most music stores and come in many different brands. Just make sure to get one that works for all notes and not a guitar tuner, which only will show you the notes needed to tune a guitar. Here's a brief overview of the key features of any tuner. First of all, you have the ability to set the calibration of the tuner. You will probably set this to 440, 442, or 444 depending on the local standard in your region. That number indicates the frequency in hertz of the A above middle C. Ask your teacher what you should set this to. Next, there is the area which indicates the note you are playing. If I play an E string with the pedal in flat, for example, it will read E flat. Most important is the area of the screen indicating the exact pitch. Here, the swinging needle shows that the pitch of my E flat is too low. This tuner also lights up a red arrow, which shows the direction I need to adjust the pitch so that it will be in tune. As I adjust it, the reading changes, and I know the string is in tune when the needle is right in the middle and both arrows are lit up. Some tuners give you a green light when you get the right pitch. Tuners are built with an internal microphone, but there should also be a place to plug in a pickup microphone. This is useful in cases where there's a lot of background noise, such as before an orchestra rehearsal when other instruments are warming up in the same room. The tuner may confuse the background noise with the sound of the harp, so its reading will not be accurate. If you attach a pickup mic to the harp, the tuner will know to listen only to the harp. So let's tune now. Turn on your tuner, place it on the music stand in front of the harp, stand behind the harp with your tuning key ready in your right hand, and make sure the pedals are in flat. It doesn't really matter what order you tune the strings in, but in this demonstration I will start on middle C. First I pluck the string, and then I look at the reading the tuner gives me. I see that it's a B, and this is what I expect because remember the pedals are all in flat, and C flat is the same as B. But I see that the pitch is lower than it should be, and the arrow is telling me to tune the string higher, so I will need to adjust this one. I put the tuning key on the tuning peg, making sure it is the correct one for the C string. A common beginner's mistake is to accidentally turn the wrong tuning peg, so if that ever happens to you, you can at least know you're not the only one. Now I twist the key towards the column to tighten the string. It is only necessary to twist a very small amount. Sometimes the tuning peg becomes loose and won't stay in place after you turn it. If this ever happens to you, all it takes to fix this problem is to detune the string and push the peg more firmly into its hole, using the tuning key as a brace. So now that I have adjusted this C string a little bit, I play it again and check the reading on the tuner. You can see that the needle is closer to the center now, but still not quite there. I continue playing the string and turning the key gradually until it is in tune. Now I go on to the next string, the B just below C. Because the pedals are in flat, I expect to see a B flat or an A sharp on some tuners. But here I see an A. If the tuner is reading an A, that means this string is really very flat, because an A is lower than a B flat. So I will need to wind this one up until the tuner displays a B flat. Then I can fine-tune the pitch from there. You can continue on and tune all the strings this way. Here is a chart of the tuner readings for each string when you are tuning in flat. The electronic tuner is a very useful device. But never forget that the whole reason we bother to tune the harp at all is for the benefit of our ears. Our ears are what hear whether the harp is in tune or not, so keep your ears open. Double check your work by playing octaves and chords and listening to hear if they sound good. The tuner is just a tool and should not be a crutch. With practice, you can develop the ability to hear whether a pitch is in tune or not. And there are plenty of cases where you may have to rely entirely on your ears. First, tuners often have trouble reading pitches in the extreme high or low registers of the harp, so you may have to tune those strings by ear. You may also need to adjust the tuning of certain strings during a performance or rehearsal, and you won't have time to pull out a tuner. Or you may one day forget your tuner at home, or unexpectedly run out of battery and be forced to make do without it. Even after you finish adjusting all the strings, your harp will need to be retuned every day, or at least several times a week, because many things cause the tension of the strings to change over time. The tuning can be affected by changes in temperature and humidity, by being played a lot, or being moved, and even if all else is equal, the strings will naturally stretch out over time anyway. On top of that, an added complication for pedal harp owners is that not only do the open strings need to be kept in tune, but the naturals and sharps need to be kept in tune as well. And so if you find that no matter how carefully you manage the tension of the strings, your pieces still sound out of tune, it may be time to have the tension of the natural and sharp discs regulated. A full regulation of the harp's mechanism should be done by a professional, but don't worry, you only need to have it done about once a year. Good luck tuning your harp, and enjoy playing in tune.